Welcome to Premier Audiobooks. Chapter 1, The Voice of Leadership. Your voice is your most powerful tool. Not just the sound that comes out of your mouth, but the confidence, the intention, and the authority that it carries. Every great leader you admire, from the business world, politics, or history, understood this one truth. Words have power, but the voice behind the words creates impact. Imagine for a moment a room full of people waiting for guidance, for inspiration, for direction. They are not waiting for perfect words. They are waiting for confidence. They are waiting for a voice that commands attention, instills trust, and sparks action. That voice can be yours if you learn to cultivate it, protect it, and project it. The hidden power of your voice. Many people underestimate the subtle power of the voice. They think leadership is about titles, authority, or charisma. But real leadership starts when your words influence others, and influence begins with how you deliver your words. Research in communication psychology shows that tone, pace, and clarity often matter more than the content itself. People respond to emotion first, logic second. Your voice is your bridge between thought and influence. When you speak with intention, others don't just hear your words, they feel them. Your voice tells a story before your words even arrive. It reveals confidence or hesitation, authority or uncertainty, inspiration or boredom. Every pause, every emphasis, every modulation conveys a message. Leaders understand this. They understand that how you speak shapes how you are perceived. Overcoming fear and hesitation. The first step toward mastering your leadership voice is overcoming fear. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of sounding inadequate. Here's the truth. Every single great leader you admire has faced this fear. Martin Luther King Jr. felt doubt before delivering his iconic speeches. Steve Jobs experienced nervousness before presenting groundbreaking products. Oprah Winfrey struggled with insecurity early in her career. Fear is normal, but it must not dictate your voice. The secret is simple: practice, presence, and preparation. 1. Practice. Speak aloud daily. Read books, narrate stories, practice in front of a mirror. Your voice will grow stronger with repetition. 2. Presence. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and ground yourself before speaking. A calm body produces a confident voice. 3. Preparation. Know your message. Structure your thoughts clearly. When your mind is confident, your voice naturally reflects it. Your hesitation only lasts as long as you allow it. Speak anyway. Step forward anyway. The voice of leadership is built by action, not perfection. The psychology behind impactful speech. Let's dive deeper. Why do some voices command attention while others fade into the background? 1. Tone and pitch. People respond to warmth, authority, and clarity. A steady, moderate pitch is easier to trust. Avoid shrill highs or monotone lows. 2. Pace and pause. Leaders don't rush. They speak deliberately. Pausing at the right moment creates emphasis, allows absorption, and signals confidence. 3. Volume and projection. Speak so people can hear without strain, but don't shout, project. It's not the loudest voice, but the controlled voice that wins attention. 4. Emotion and authenticity. People connect with genuine feeling. Share enthusiasm, concern, or conviction authentically. Emotion bridges connection. The best leaders speak not just to be heard, but to inspire response. Every word, every pause, every inflection contributes to that influence. Daily exercises to strengthen your voice. A leader's voice isn't born, it's trained. These daily exercises can transform your speaking power. 1. Mirror practice. Stand in front of a mirror and speak your ideas out loud. Watch your posture, gestures, and expressions. Notice tension, hesitations, and areas to improve. 2. Reading aloud. Read books, articles, or speeches aloud daily. Focus on tone, pacing, and clarity. Try to convey emotion in every sentence. 3. Record and reflect. Record your voice while practicing a speech or presentation. Listen critically. Are you clear, confident, persuasive? Adjust and practice again. 4. Breath control. Practice deep diaphragmatic breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Controlled breathing supports a steady, authoritative voice. 5. Word emphasis exercise. Take a paragraph and emphasize a different word each time you read it. This trains modulation and expressive power. 6. Storytelling practice. Practice telling small stories out loud, family anecdotes, daily experiences, or fictional tales. Focus on keeping your audience engaged with emotion, tone, and pacing. The leader's presence in communication. Your voice is inseparable from your presence. Leadership is as much about how you show up as what you say. Stand with shoulders back, feet firmly planted. Maintain eye contact with your audience, not a glance, but a connection. Let gestures flow naturally. Don't overdo them, but don't restrict them either. Speak as if your words matter, because they do. Presence amplifies the voice. Even a simple hello can become impactful when delivered with calm authority, a steady tone, and sincere confidence. Remember, people may forget your words, but they never forget how you made them feel. Presence and voice together create unforgettable leadership moments. Common pitfalls to avoid. Even the most aspiring leaders make mistakes. Be mindful of these. 1. Overcomplicated speech. Leaders simplify ideas. Speak plainly, with clarity. Complexity dilutes authority. 2. Filler words. Like, you know. Frequent use weakens perception. Practice pauses instead. 3. Speeding up. Nervousness often makes people rush. Slow down. Confidence is calm, measured, and deliberate. 4. Monotone delivery. Avoid flatness. Modulate pitch, tone, and emotion to maintain engagement. 5. Ignoring feedback. Don't underestimate observation. Ask trusted colleagues to give honest feedback on your voice, tone, and clarity. By identifying and correcting these pitfalls, you'll strengthen your leadership voice faster than you imagine. The transformational power of practice. Leadership isn't a one-time performance. It's a habit, a skill, a daily choice. Think of your voice as a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. A powerful voice is not just natural, it is earned through dedication, consistency, and deliberate practice. Start small. Speak with intention in daily conversations. Gradually increase the stakes, meetings, presentations, speeches. Celebrate progress, adjust mistakes, and repeat. With time, what feels difficult today, commanding attention, influencing others, inspiring action, will become effortless. Your voice will become magnetic, persuasive, and memorable. Stories of voices that inspired change. Consider Winston Churchill, whose wartime speeches rallied a nation when despair was at its peak. His words, delivered with calm authority and unwavering confidence, inspired courage across millions. Consider Malala Yousafzai, who transformed fear into a powerful voice for education. Her authenticity and conviction created global change. And Steve Jobs, who made product launches unforgettable, not just because of the product, but because of how he spoke, with clarity, vision, and passion. All of them had one thing in common. They knew how to use their voice as a tool of influence and leadership. And you can too. Your voice, your leadership. Now it's your turn. Your voice, the words you choose, the tone you carry, the confidence you project, is waiting to lead. Remember these key truths. Your voice is powerful. Use it deliberately. Leadership starts with presence. Stand tall, breathe, connect. Fear is temporary. Action builds confidence. Consistent practice transforms hesitation into authority. Influence comes from clarity, tone, and authenticity. The first step toward talking like a leader is simply speak. Start today, even if it's small. Speak with intention in one conversation, one meeting, one email. Speak with confidence even when your hands shake or your stomach twists. Because every great leader started where you are now, and every leader became great one word at a time, one sentence at a time, one voice at a time. And now, the journey begins for you.
Chapter 2. Confidence speaks louder than words. Confidence is the invisible armor that transforms ordinary words into powerful statements, hesitation into authority, and intention into action. Without confidence, even the clearest message loses its impact. With it, even the simplest words can inspire, motivate, and lead. Every leader you admire, whether a CEO, a public speaker, or a world-changing activist, possesses one common trait: unshakable confidence in their voice and their vision. Confidence is not arrogance. It is not about thinking you are better than others. Confidence is the calm assurance that your words matter, that your voice has purpose, and that your actions will follow your convictions. This chapter is about building that confidence, not overnight, but daily, deliberately, and with intention. By the end of this journey, you will understand that confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you create, cultivate, and command. The foundation of confidence. Confidence begins in the mind. Every moment of doubt, hesitation, or second-guessing weakens your voice. Every moment of self-belief, preparation, and focus strengthens it. To understand this, consider the triangle of leadership confidence. 1. Knowledge. Confidence is built on understanding. The more you know your topic, the more naturally your words flow. 2. Practice. Knowledge without practice is fragile. Speaking regularly, rehearsing ideas, and refining your delivery is essential. 3. Experience. Every time you speak and act with courage, confidence compounds. It becomes self-reinforcing. Each corner of this triangle feeds the others. Knowledge without experience feels theoretical. Experience without preparation feels reckless. Practice without purpose feels empty. True confidence arises when all three are aligned. The role of posture, tone, and delivery. A confident leader speaks with more than words. Every movement, every pause, every inflection communicates strength or weakness. Posture. Stand tall, shoulders back, feet firmly planted. Your body signals to your brain that you are capable, and your brain signals back to your voice. Confidence begins with how you carry yourself. Tone. A steady, warm, and controlled tone builds trust. Avoid rushing or speaking too softly. Your audience must feel your certainty. Delivery. Speak with purpose. Use pauses for emphasis. Let your words breathe. Leadership is not about talking faster than everyone else. It's about making every word count. Every day you have the power to train these elements. Mirror exercises, voice recordings, and posture drills are not just practice, they are the foundation of natural confidence. Overcoming self-doubt. Self-doubt is the single greatest enemy of a leader's voice. It creeps in silently, eroding authority and undermining intention. But self-doubt is not permanent. It is a temporary state, a habit, not an identity. To conquer self-doubt, leaders employ 3 strategies. 1. Reframe fear. Every nervous thought is a sign that you care. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask, "How will I learn?" 2. Focus on action. Confidence grows when you act despite fear. Even small steps, a single word, one sentence, one presentation, build momentum. 3. Anchor in past success. Recall moments where you spoke clearly, inspired someone, or led effectively. Your brain remembers capability more than mistakes. Remember, leaders are not fearless. They simply move forward despite fear. Confidence is built through repeated action, not imagined perfection. Daily habits to build a confident voice. Confidence is a skill, not a trait. It is strengthened by deliberate practice and consistent habits. Here are daily routines to cultivate unstoppable confidence. 1. Morning affirmations. Begin your day with statements like, "My words carry weight. My voice inspire action. I am capable." Speak them aloud. Believe them. Internalize them. 2. Vocal warm-ups. Hum, recite tongue twisters, or read aloud for 10 to 15 minutes. Strengthen your voice and remove hesitation. 3. Intentional speaking practice. Speak with purpose in everyday situations, meetings, conversations, or even casual chats. Focus on clarity, tone, and conviction. 4. Body language awareness. Observe your posture and gestures throughout the day. Confident body language reinforces a confident voice. 5. Reflective journaling and feedback. Record your voice, review your performance, and seek feedback from trusted individuals. Self-awareness is a catalyst for growth. Consistency is key. Confidence does not appear magically. It is earned, maintained, and nurtured daily. Stories of confidence in leadership. Consider leaders who have inspired millions. Nelson Mandela spoke with quiet authority, even after decades in prison. His confidence stemmed from preparation, clarity of purpose, and unwavering belief in justice. Sheryl Sandberg communicates decisively, balancing empathy with authority. Her confidence empowers others to follow her lead. Barack Obama uses pacing, tone, and deliberate pauses to project calm certainty, even in moments of intense scrutiny. Notice the pattern. These leaders' confidence is visible, audible, and tangible. It is not arrogance. It is belief backed by preparation, experience, and self-awareness. The connection between confidence and influence. Confidence is the fuel of influence. People listen to those who believe in themselves, their vision, and their words. Without confidence, even brilliant ideas fall flat. Influence is not manipulation. It is the ability to guide, inspire, and motivate others through authenticity and authority. A confident voice conveys, "I know what I'm talking about. I trust my judgment. You can trust me, too." When you speak with conviction, people follow, not because they are forced, but because they believe in your certainty. Turning mistakes into confidence builders. Every leader makes mistakes. Every confident speaker stumbles. The difference is perspective. Mistakes are not failures. They are opportunities to strengthen your voice. Every misstep teaches how to articulate more clearly, how to project authority under pressure, and how to maintain calm and composure. The most powerful leaders use errors as stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. Confidence grows when you embrace imperfection while striving for excellence. Exercises to internalize confidence. 1. Power posing. Stand in a strong and open posture for 2 minutes before speaking. This triggers a psychological boost in assertiveness. 2. Mirror storytelling. Tell a short story to your reflection, focusing on tone, volume, and engagement. 3. Voice projection drill. Speak a paragraph as if addressing a room of 100 people. Emphasize clarity and presence. 4. Daily Yes Challenge. Say yes to one uncomfortable speaking opportunity daily. A question, a comment, or a mini presentation. Courage strengthens confidence. 5. Reflective journaling. Write about moments you felt confident and times you didn't. Identify triggers and patterns to consciously improve. The mindset of a confident leader. Confidence is as much a mindset as it is a skill. Adopt these mental frameworks. I am prepared.
Confidence stems from knowing your material, your audience, and your goals. I am capable. Trust in your past learning, experiences, and abilities. I learn through action. Mistakes refine, not define your leadership. I serve others. Confidence is not about ego. It is about empowering others through your clarity and guidance. Repeat these beliefs daily. Reinforce them with action. Align your thoughts, words, and deeds. Confidence will no longer be optional. It will become your default state. Closing thoughts. Speak with conviction. Confidence transforms your leadership. It is the bridge between knowledge and influence, preparation and impact, intention and action. When you speak with confidence, your voice inspires trust, your words compel attention, your presence creates authority, and your actions reinforce your message. Remember, the world doesn't need perfect words. It needs a voice that believes in itself. Start small. Speak clearly in daily conversations. Step into challenges with courage. Embrace mistakes as lessons. And practice relentlessly. Every confident sentence you speak builds not only your credibility, but your identity as a leader. Your words will not just be heard, they will be felt. And one day, people will listen not just because of what you say, but because of the unwavering confidence in the voice behind it.
Chapter 3. Persuasion and Influence. Leadership is not only about having a powerful voice or unwavering confidence. Leadership is about inspiring action, guiding people toward a shared vision, and influencing decisions without force. The ability to persuade is one of the most valuable skills a leader can possess. It is not manipulation. It is not coercion. True persuasion is the art of guiding others with clarity, empathy, and authority so that they want to follow because they see the value, trust your judgment, and believe in your vision. Some people are born with natural charisma, but persuasion and influence are skills that can be learned, strengthened, and refined. You can train your mind, your words, and your voice to move people, inspire action, and create lasting impact. In this chapter, we explore the science, the psychology, and the practice of influence, and we will give you actionable strategies to communicate like a leader who inspires trust, respect, and action. 1. Understanding influence. Influence is not about domination. It is about creating alignment. A leader's goal is to bring people together around a common purpose. Influence happens when others perceive that following your guidance will benefit them, the group, and the mission at hand. There are 3 pillars of influence. Credibility. People follow those they trust. Trust is earned through knowledge, consistency, and integrity. A leader who demonstrates competence and reliability is naturally persuasive. Connection. Influence is built on empathy. Understanding the needs, emotions, and perspectives of others allows you to frame your message in a way that resonates. People follow leaders who understand them. Clarity. Even the most compelling ideas are powerless if not communicated clearly. A persuasive leader simplifies complexity, highlights value, and gives people a clear path for action. Think of influence as a bridge. On one side is your vision, and on the other side are the people you want to inspire. Your words, tone, and presence are the beams that connect the two. 2. The psychology of persuasion. The most effective leaders understand the human mind. People make decisions emotionally first and justify them logically second. As a leader, your goal is to connect with both the heart and the mind. There are several psychological principles that can dramatically increase your persuasive power. 1. Reciprocity. People naturally want to return favors. By demonstrating support, assistance, or generosity, you create a sense of obligation that fosters cooperation. 2. Social proof. Humans look to others for cues on behavior. Highlighting how others support your vision or have benefited from your ideas reinforces trust and encourages alignment. 3. Authority. People respect expertise. Demonstrating knowledge, confidence, and competence makes others more likely to follow your lead. 4. Consistency. Humans prefer actions that align with their beliefs. When you help people recognize alignment between their values and your vision, they are more likely to commit. 5. Liking. People are more persuaded by those they like and relate to. Building rapport, showing empathy, and being authentic increases your influence exponentially. 6. Scarcity. People value what is limited or unique. Framing opportunities as meaningful, timely, or rare can drive action without coercion. Understanding these principles doesn't make you manipulative, it makes you effective. A persuasive leader guides, not forces, and uses knowledge of human behavior to create alignment and clarity. 3. Crafting messages that resonate. Influence is more than psychology, it is communication in action. Leaders who persuade effectively do so because they know how to craft messages that resonate. Here's how. 1. Start with the why. Simon Sinek, author of Start with Why, emphasizes that people are inspired by purpose, not process. Begin your communication by explaining why the idea matters. Connect with values, emotions, and long-term vision before diving into specifics. 2. Simplify the complex. A leader's role is to distill complexity into clarity. Avoid jargon, unnecessary details, or convoluted explanations. Use analogies, stories, and examples that make your message easy to understand and remember. 3. Use stories and examples. Humans are wired to respond to narratives. Facts inform, stories inspire. Share real-life examples of success, lessons learned, or challenges overcome. This makes your message memorable and emotionally engaging. 4. Highlight benefits, not features. People act when they see value. Instead of listing features, focus on outcomes and impact. Show how your idea, project, or decision benefits them, the team, and the broader mission. 5. Call to action. A persuasive message always guides toward a next step. Be clear about what action you want others to take. Ambiguity kills influence. 4. Empathy as a leadership tool. Empathy is the secret weapon of persuasive leaders. You can have the most compelling message, the strongest evidence, and the clearest call to action, but if people feel unheard, they won't follow. To communicate with empathy, 1. Listen first. Understand concerns, fears, and desires. Ask questions, reflect back what you hear, and validate feelings before proposing solutions. 2. Acknowledge perspectives. Show that you understand the challenges of others. This builds trust and demonstrates respect. 3. Frame messages relationally. Connect your ideas to their needs, goals, and values. When people see alignment, influence grows naturally. Empathy does not weaken authority, it strengthens it. Leaders who understand their people can guide them effectively, not through force, but through alignment. 5. The art of storytelling. Stories are not just entertainment, they are powerful instruments of influence. Great leaders tell stories to teach, inspire, and guide. A compelling story has 3 essential elements. 1. Relatability. Listeners must see themselves in the story. Use scenarios, characters, or dilemmas they can relate to. 2. Conflict or challenge. Every engaging story has tension. Highlight struggles, obstacles, or decisions that resonate emotionally. 3. Resolution and lesson. End with transformation, insight, or action. Consider Winston Churchill's speeches during World War II. He didn't just provide information, he wove narratives of courage, resilience, and shared destiny. People were inspired not only because of facts, but because they felt the story. 6. Exercises to build persuasive skills. Daily practice strengthens your persuasive ability. Here are exercises you can integrate. 1. Story crafting. Take one lesson from your day and turn it into a 2 to 3 minute story. Focus on a clear beginning, middle, and end. Practice telling it out loud. 2. Role reversal. Engage in discussions with someone who disagrees with your viewpoint. Practice framing your argument empathetically, finding common ground, and guiding them toward understanding without confrontation. 3. Message simplification. Take a complex idea and explain it in 3 sentences or less.
Clarity enhances persuasion. 4. Emotional practice. Practice speaking with emotion. Read a paragraph aloud, emphasizing joy, concern, urgency, or pride. Notice how the same words feel different depending on delivery. 5. Feedback loop. Record yourself giving a short, persuasive talk. Listen critically. Ask a trusted friend for feedback on clarity, tone, and emotional impact. Refine and repeat. 7. Handling resistance. Even the best leaders face resistance. Not everyone will immediately accept your vision, and that's natural. How you respond determines your influence. 1. Stay calm. Emotional reactions reduce authority. Maintain composure and confidence. 2. Seek understanding. Ask questions to clarify concerns. People are more likely to listen if they feel understood. 3. Use evidence and storytelling to reinforce your message with facts, examples, and narratives that resonate. 4. Invite participation. People are more committed when they contribute ideas. Collaboration builds ownership and alignment. Remember, persuasion is a marathon, not a sprint. Influence grows over time through consistency, empathy, and clarity. 8. Language that inspires action. The words you choose matter. Leaders who persuade consistently use language that encourages participation. Let's explore this together. Highlights possibilities. Imagine what we can achieve if. Invites commitment. I need your support to make this happen. Shows vision. Together we can create change that lasts. Avoid words that sound forced, negative, or uncertain. Replace I think with I believe, and we could try with here's the best path forward. Language reflects mindset. Speak like a leader, and you begin to think and act like one. 9. Persuasion beyond words. Influence extends beyond what you say. Consider body language. Open gestures, upright posture, and confident movement reinforce your message. Tone of voice. Modulate to emphasize key points, convey urgency, or inspire trust. Consistency of actions. People trust leaders whose actions align with words. Reliability enhances influence. The combination of words, voice, and actions creates a holistic leadership presence that is compelling, authentic, and persuasive. 10. Confidence. Chapter 4. Clarity and conciseness. In leadership, words are powerful, but clarity gives them impact. A brilliant idea poorly communicated becomes lost. A vision clouded by confusion fails to inspire. To lead effectively, you must master the art of speaking clearly and concisely. Clarity and conciseness are not just communication skills, they are leadership skills. They allow your message to land, your vision to resonate, and your influence to multiply. Imagine entering a room and sharing a brilliant concept. People lean in, eager to hear your message. You speak with clarity. Every sentence has purpose. Every pause signals meaning. Your words land. Your ideas inspire. That is the power of clarity. Conciseness complements clarity. It ensures that every word counts, that your message is sharp and memorable, and that your audience is not overwhelmed. Together, clarity and conciseness form the backbone of effective leadership communication. This chapter will guide you through understanding, practicing, and mastering these skills, so your words inspire action, influence decisions, and leave a lasting impression. 1. Why clarity matters in leadership. Clarity is more than choosing the right words. It is about creating understanding, eliminating ambiguity, and guiding others toward action. Leaders who speak clearly are trusted. Leaders who ramble or overcomplicate lose influence. Think of clarity as a lens. Without it, your audience sees only a blur. With it, your ideas shine with focus and purpose. Research shows that humans process clear and concise information more efficiently. Ambiguous communication increases cognitive load, causing confusion, hesitation, and disengagement. In leadership, this can cost trust, alignment, and results. Clarity signals confidence. You know your message. Competence. You have thought through your ideas. Respect. You value your audience's time and understanding.
When people understand you quickly and easily, they are more likely to follow, support, and act on your guidance. Clarity is the first step toward influence. 2. The principles of concise communication. Conciseness is the art of saying more with fewer words. It does not mean oversimplifying or omitting important details. It means removing unnecessary fluff and delivering your message with precision. To speak concisely, 1. Eliminate redundancy. Avoid repeating the same idea in different words unless it adds emphasis. 2. Focus on key points. Identify the essential elements of your message and communicate them first. 3. Use strong verbs. Replace weak phrases with action-oriented words. "We need to consider implementing" becomes "we will implement." 4. Avoid jargon. Speak in plain language. Leadership is about connection, not intimidation. 5. Structure your message. Use the beginning, middle, end approach. Introduce the idea, explain it briefly, and conclude with action or takeaway. Conciseness is not just about words, it is about respecting attention. Your audience will absorb your message faster, understand it better, and remember it longer. 3. The psychology of understanding. Humans have limited attention spans. People rarely retain more than 3 to 5 key ideas in a conversation or presentation. Leaders who overwhelm their audience with excessive information risk losing impact. Psychological studies indicate that people remember structured messages better than unstructured ones. Visualizing information through examples or stories improves retention. Repetition of key points at strategic moments reinforces understanding. Applying these principles ensures that your audience not only hears your words, but internalizes your message. 4. Storytelling with clarity. Stories are powerful tools, but even stories can become confusing if overloaded with details. To tell a clear story, 1. Focus on one message. Every story should illustrate a single point. 2. Use simple characters and situations. Avoid unnecessary subplots or tangents. 3. Highlight conflict and resolution. Make the challenge and solution clear. 4. End with a takeaway. Ensure the audience understands the lesson or action to take. Example: imagine telling a story about improving team productivity. Instead of narrating every detail, focus on a single challenge, a clear action taken, and the resulting outcome. This approach makes your story memorable and actionable. 5. Practical techniques for clear communication. Leaders can adopt daily habits to strengthen clarity and conciseness. 1. The one-sentence rule. Summarize your main idea in one sentence before elaborating. This ensures focus. 2. Mind mapping. Organize thoughts visually to identify key points and remove unnecessary details. 3. The 5-minute edit. After speaking or writing, review your message and remove redundant words or sentences. 4. Audience awareness. Tailor your language to the listener's knowledge, background, and expectations. 5. Active pausing. Pause strategically to emphasize key points and give the audience time to absorb information. 6. Exercises for mastering clarity. 1. Summarize daily. At the end of each day, summarize your main achievements, lessons, or ideas in 3 to 5 sentences. Practice saying them out loud clearly. 2. Explain like I'm 5. Take a complex idea and explain it in simple language as if speaking to a child. This trains simplicity and clarity. 3. Eliminate filler words. Record yourself speaking for 5 minutes, then play it back. Identify like, and you know, and practice removing them. 4. Practice headlines. Write your message as a headline or tweet. The goal is brevity without losing meaning. 5. Teach others. Teaching forces clarity. Explain a concept to someone else in under 5 minutes. Notice areas where you confuse or overcomplicate. 7. The role of pauses. Pauses are not empty. They are powerful tools of clarity. A well-timed pause allows the audience to process information, adds emphasis to key points, and demonstrates confidence. Use pauses instead of filler words. Pause before critical statements, after questions, and at transitions. The strategic use of silence communicates authority and focus. 8. Avoiding overload. Many leaders fail because they provide too much information. Overloading your audience leads to confusion, misinterpretation, and loss of engagement. To prevent overload, 1. Prioritize information. Focus on the top 3 to 5 points. 2. Use visuals sparingly. Charts and slides should clarify, not overwhelm. 3. Break complex ideas into digestible parts. Remember, leadership communication is about guiding understanding, not impressing with quantity. 9. Feedback and iteration. Clear communication is not static. It evolves through feedback. Encourage your team or audience to ask questions, repeat your message, and provide observations. Techniques to refine clarity are: ask for paraphrasing. Can you summarize what you heard? Observe reactions. Watch for confusion, nods, or disengagement. Adjust accordingly. Record presentations. Listening to your own speech reveals unclear or redundant areas. Seek mentorship. Experienced communicators can identify subtle areas for improvement. 10. The connection between clarity and leadership influence. Clarity and conciseness are not just communication skills, they are leadership skills. They allow your message to land, your vision to resonate, and your influence to multiply. A leader who speaks clearly is trusted, reduces misunderstandings, motivates teams, and accelerates decision-making. Clear communication signals competence and respect. It sets the stage for influence and action. When people understand you quickly and easily, they follow your vision more willingly and passionately. 11. Daily routine for clarity and conciseness. 1. Morning review. Identify your key message for the day. Summarize it in one sentence. 2. Midday check-in. Practice explaining your idea clearly in conversation with colleagues or friends. 3. Evening reflection. Review interactions. Where were you clear? Where could you have simplified? Record insights. 4. Daily writing exercise. Write a short paragraph explaining a complex idea simply. Refine and condense it. 5. Storytelling practice. Tell one story each day in 2 to 3 minutes, focusing on clarity, structure, and takeaway. 12. Closing thoughts. Leadership is measured not by how much you say, but by how well your words inspire, guide, and influence others. Clarity and conciseness amplify your voice, strengthen your presence, and increase your influence. Every great leader you admire communicates with purpose. They eliminate noise, focus on essentials, and deliver messages that resonate. You can do the same. Start by practicing daily. Prioritize clarity over cleverness. Speak with intention. Respect your audience's time and understanding. Over time, your communication will become sharper, your ideas more impactful, and your influence unstoppable. Remember, words are tools, but clarity is the skill that turns tools into results. Speak clearly, speak concisely, and your leadership will shine. Chapter 5. Connecting with your audience. Leadership is not just about what you say. It is about who you connect with, how you make them feel, and the trust you inspire. Words, tone, and confidence are critical, but without genuine connection, even the clearest, most persuasive message can fall flat. Connection is the heartbeat of influence. It transforms communication from a monologue into a dialogue, from a speech into inspiration, and from information into impact. This chapter is about mastering the art of connection. By the end, you will understand how to truly engage your audience, build trust, and inspire action, whether you are speaking to one person, a small team, or a large crowd. Connection is not optional for leaders. It is essential. It is the invisible thread that turns words into influence, ideas into alignment, and messages into movements. Why connection is the foundation of leadership. Consider this: people don't follow leaders because of titles or credentials alone. They follow leaders because they feel understood, valued, and inspired. Connection bridges the gap between authority and influence. It builds loyalty, trust, and commitment. A leader who connects effectively can inspire action even in challenging circumstances, guide teams through change, communicate vision in a way that resonates personally with others, resolve conflicts with empathy and clarity. Connection is both emotional and intellectual. It engages the mind by presenting clear ideas and the heart by acknowledging feelings, values, and perspectives. A leader who masters connection is not just heard, they are felt. Active listening is the heart of connection. The most fundamental skill for connecting with your audience is listening. Leadership is not about dominating conversations, it is about understanding and responding. Active listening demonstrates respect, empathy, and attentiveness, all of which strengthen influence. Active listening involves full attention, avoid distractions, make eye contact, and focus on the speaker's words and body language. Acknowledgement. Nod, smile, or provide verbal cues to show understanding. Simple phrases like, "I see," or "That's a good point," reinforce engagement. Reflection. Paraphrase what the speaker said to confirm understanding. So what I hear you saying is, empathy. Identify feelings behind words. Respond not just to content, but to emotion. When their audience feels genuinely heard, they are more likely to open up, trust your intentions, and embrace your message. Understanding your audience. To connect deeply, you must understand the people you are speaking to. Leaders who speak in a vacuum risk irrelevance. Connection requires awareness of audience needs, values, and motivations. Steps to understand your audience. 1. Research. Know their background, goals, challenges, and interests. 2. Observe. Pay attention to reactions, engagement levels, and nonverbal cues during communication. 3. Ask questions. Encourage feedback and dialogue to learn directly from your audience. 4. Segment messages. Tailor communication to align with different perspectives and priorities. For example, when addressing a team about a new initiative, a leader might emphasize efficiency and productivity to managers, but focus on support and learning opportunities for team members. Connection thrives on relevance. Emotional intelligence in connection. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is the leader's secret weapon for connecting with people. High EQ allows you to recognize your own emotions and control reactions, read the emotions of others accurately, respond in ways that build trust and rapport. Components of EQ for connection. 1. Self-awareness. Understand how your tone, body language, and words affect others. 2. Self-regulation. Manage reactions to stress, criticism, or conflict. 3. Empathy. Identify feelings and perspectives in others and respond appropriately. 4. Social skills. Build relationships, resolve conflicts, and influence effectively. Leaders with strong EQ create environments where people feel safe, valued, and motivated. Connection is emotional before it is logical. Building trust through communication. Connection is impossible without trust. Trust is earned, not demanded. Every interaction, word, and action contributes to your credibility. Ways to build trust are consistency. Align words with actions. Reliability is the foundation of credibility. Transparency. Share information openly when appropriate. Honesty fosters respect. Vulnerability. Admit mistakes and show humility. This humanizes leaders and strengthens bonds. Recognition. Acknowledge contributions, ideas, and achievements. Appreciation deepens connection. When people trust you, your messages resonate more deeply. Your influence grows, and your audience is more likely to follow your guidance willingly. Storytelling as connection tool. Stories are among the most effective tools to connect with an audience. Unlike abstract arguments, stories create emotional resonance, making your message memorable and relatable. Effective storytelling for leaders is 1. Identify the core message. Every story should reinforce a key idea or lesson. 2. Relatable characters. Use scenarios or individuals your audience can empathize with. 3. Conflict or challenge. Stories with obstacles capture attention and engage emotions. 4. Resolution and takeaway. end with transformation, insight, or action. For instance, a leader addressing change might share a personal story of overcoming resistance, demonstrating resilience, and highlighting the positive outcomes. This approach turns abstract ideas into tangible experiences. Nonverbal communication in connection. Research suggests that up to 70% of communication is nonverbal. Your posture, gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact communicate just as much as your words. Key nonverbal strategies are eye contact, establish connection, convey confidence, and show engagement. Open posture, avoid crossing arms or turning away. Open gestures invite trust. Facial expression, align expressions with your message. Smile to convey warmth, nod to reinforce understanding. Gestures, use purposeful gestures to emphasize points, but avoid overuse. Movement, move deliberately when addressing a group. Avoid pacing nervously. Your body speaks volumes. Align nonverbal cues with words to create authentic, compelling connection. Adapting to different audiences. Connection is not one size fits all. Effective leaders adapt their communication style to match the audience's personality, context, and needs. Analytical audiences focus on data, evidence, and logical reasoning. Emotional audiences highlight impact, feelings, and values. Directive audiences be concise, structured, and goal-oriented. Collaborative audiences encourage participation, discussion, and shared ownership. Adapting doesn't mean being inauthentic. It means finding a common language that resonates while staying true to your core message. Active engagement techniques. Connection thrives on engagement. Passive communication rarely inspires action. Leaders can use several techniques. 1. Ask open-ended questions. Encourage reflection and dialogue. Like, how do you see this working? 2. Invite input. Make people feel their perspective matters. What ideas do you have to improve this? 3. Acknowledge contributions. Reinforce value. That's an excellent point. Thank you for sharing. 4. Interactive stories or examples. Include the audience in your narrative. Imagine yourself facing this challenge. 5. Check understanding. Use paraphrasing or summary to ensure clarity. So what I hear is, active engagement ensures your audience feels involved, understood, and valued, strengthening the connection. Handling difficult audiences. Not every interaction will be easy. Some audiences resist, disagree, or challenge your authority. Connection doesn't mean agreement. It means respect, empathy, and strategic engagement. Stay calm. Do not react defensively. Acknowledge concerns or validate emotions or opinions without conceding points unnecessarily. Redirect focus. Guide conversation back to shared goals or purpose. Use questions to encourage reflection rather than confrontation, like, how do you see this aligning with our objectives? Model respect. Your response sets the tone for the interaction. Difficult conversations are opportunities to deepen connection when handled with poise, empathy, and strategy. Exercises to strengthen audience connection. 1. Observation practice. In every conversation, notice body language, tone, and energy. Adjust your communication accordingly. 2. Active listening drill. Spend 10 minutes daily in a conversation where your sole goal is to understand, not respond. 3. Empathy mapping. For each audience, list fears, desires, values, and motivations. Tailor messages to resonate. 4. Storytelling practice. Share a personal or professional story with different audiences and observe how engagement changes. 5. Feedback loop. After presentations or conversations, ask for honest feedback on clarity, relatability, and engagement. These exercises make connection intentional, measurable, and improvable. 12. Case studies in connection. Consider
Chapter 6. Handling Questions and Challenges. Leadership is tested not when everything goes smoothly, but when questions arise, challenges appear, and resistance emerges. How you respond in these moments defines your credibility, influence, and connection with your audience.
Handling questions and challenges is not about having all the answers. It is about remaining calm, confident, and strategic. It is about turning potential obstacles into opportunities to strengthen trust, demonstrate competence, and inspire action. Every leader, whether in the boardroom, on a stage, or in everyday life, will face tough questions, skepticism, and challenges. How you respond will either strengthen your leadership or weaken it. This chapter is designed to teach you the skills, mindset, and practical strategies to handle any question or challenge with grace, authority, and impact. 1. Why challenges are opportunities? Many people fear questions or challenges because they feel exposed, vulnerable, or inadequate. But every challenge is actually an opportunity in disguise. Each question is a chance to showcase expertise, demonstrate composure under pressure, clarify your message, build trust with your audience. When approached strategically, challenges strengthen your influence rather than diminish it. Leaders do not avoid questions, they embrace them as opportunities to inspire confidence and demonstrate mastery. 2. The mindset of handling questions. Your mindset before and during questions sets the tone for your response. Adopt these principles. 1. Curiosity over defensiveness. Treat questions as a way to learn about your audience's concerns, not as attacks. 2. Calm confidence. Take a deep breath and maintain steady posture and tone. Your calmness reassures your audience. 3. Preparation is key. Anticipate questions in advance and rehearse responses for likely scenarios. 4. Openness. If you do not know the answer, admit it honestly and offer to follow up. Transparency strengthens trust. When you approach questions with curiosity, preparation, and openness, challenges become tools for connection, credibility, and influence. 3. Types of questions and how to respond. Questions can be categorized, and each type requires a tailored approach. 1. Clarifying questions. When someone asks for more detail or explanation. Strategy. Repeat or paraphrase the question to ensure understanding. Respond clearly and concisely. Example, you're asking how this process improves efficiency, correct? Here's the approach. 2. Challenging questions. When someone questions your authority, data, or decisions. Strategy. Stay calm. Acknowledge the concern, present evidence, and maintain respect. Example, that's a valid concern. Let me explain the research that guided this decision. 3. Hypothetical questions. Questions about scenarios that may or may not occur. Strategy. Offer a thoughtful, balanced response, emphasizing flexibility and preparedness. Example, if that situation arises, our plan includes multiple contingencies. 4. Difficult or hostile questions. Questions designed to challenge or provoke. Strategy. Pause, remain composed, and respond professionally. Focus on facts, logic, and empathy. Avoid reacting emotionally. Example, I understand your concern. Here's the context and why we've made this choice. 5. Unknown or unexpected questions. Questions you didn't anticipate. Strategy. Acknowledge honestly, commit to finding an answer, and follow up. Example, I don't have that data at hand, but I will get back to you with a detailed answer. By categorizing questions and preparing strategies for each type, you reduce stress and enhance your credibility. 4. Techniques for responding with confidence. Confidence is the foundation of every effective response. Techniques include pause before answering. A brief pause shows thoughtfulness and prevents rushed, unclear responses. Restate the question. Clarifies understanding for both you and the audience. Answer concisely. Focus on the key points. Avoid rambling. Use examples. Stories, data, and analogies reinforce your message. Maintain eye contact. Shows authority and engagement. Follow up if needed. If the question requires more detail, offer to provide additional information later. Every interaction is an opportunity to demonstrate mastery, composure, and clarity. 5. Handling criticism professionally. Criticism is inevitable. Even leaders with impeccable records face scrutiny. Responding professionally to criticism can strengthen your reputation. 1. Listen fully. Don't interrupt. Understand the critique. 2. Acknowledge valid points. Accept constructive feedback graciously. 3. Stay calm. Maintain a neutral tone and composed body language.
4. Respond factually. Present evidence, clarify misunderstandings, or explain rationale without defensiveness. 5. Express gratitude. Thank the critic for their perspective. This demonstrates maturity and openness. Leaders who handle criticism effectively turn potential threats into trust-building opportunities. 6. Anticipating and preparing for questions. Preparation is the backbone of confidence. Before meetings, presentations, or public speaking engagements, 1. Brainstorm potential questions. Think like your audience. What concerns, doubts, or curiosities might arise? 2. Prepare evidence and examples. Have data, anecdotes, and supporting details ready. 3. Rehearse responses out loud. Practicing improves clarity, tone, and timing. 4. Develop contingency responses for unexpected or difficult questions. Prepare phrases like, "That's a great point. Let me clarify." Or, "I'll need to look into that and follow up." Or, "Here's the broader context." Preparation not only increases confidence, but also reduces stress, enabling you to handle challenges gracefully. 7. Maintaining authority under pressure. Challenges often test your authority. Even confident leaders can feel unsettled. Strategies to maintain authority. Control your tone, speak calmly, clearly, and assertively. Avoid defensive or aggressive tones. Maintain composure. Stand tall, make eye contact, and breathe steadily. Stay on message. Redirect conversations to key points. Avoid getting sidetracked by hostility. Demonstrate respect. Respectful responses to challenging questions reinforce your credibility. Leverage pauses. Brief pauses convey thoughtfulness and confidence, especially under pressure. Authority is not about overpowering others. It is about guiding discussions with calm assurance and clarity. 8. Turning questions into opportunities. Every question can be reframed as a chance to strengthen your message. 1. Highlight key points. Reinforce your vision or main message in response. 2. Educate your audience. Clarify misunderstandings and provide insights. 3. Build trust. Demonstrate transparency and willingness to engage. 4. Showcase expertise. Provide data, examples, or reasoning that reinforces credibility. 5. Engage emotionally. Address concerns with empathy, showing you understand the human element behind questions. When questions are approached as opportunities, they enhance your influence rather than to threaten it. 9. Exercises to strengthen your ability to handle challenges. 1. Mock Q&A sessions. Practice answering anticipated questions with colleagues, friends, or mentors. 2. Role-playing. Simulate challenging or hostile audience scenarios to build composure. 3. Impromptu speaking. Pick a topic randomly and answer questions on the spot to improve adaptability. 4. Pause practice. Practice responding with a 2 to 3 second pause before answering difficult questions. 5. Reflective journaling. After conversations, write down challenges faced and strategies for improvement. Consistent practice builds resilience, confidence, and strategic thinking. 10. Case studies of leaders handling challenges. Winston Churchill faced relentless criticism during World War II. Despite doubts from colleagues and the public, he remained calm, addressed concerns with facts, and inspired confidence through clarity and conviction. Sheryl Sandberg, COO of Facebook, often faced tough questions in press conferences. Her strategy of listening, acknowledging concerns, and responding with transparency and evidence strengthened her credibility. These examples demonstrate that handling questions and challenges is a skill honed through preparation, composure, and strategic communication. 11. Emotional management under pressure. Handling tough questions requires emotional intelligence. Leaders must regulate their emotions to respond effectively. 1. Self-awareness. Recognize feelings of frustration, defensiveness, or anxiety. 2. Self-regulation. Take deep breaths, pause, and maintain calm tone. 3. Empathy. Understand that questions often reflect genuine concern or curiosity. 4. Positive framing. Reframe challenges as opportunities to educate or inspire. Emotional control conveys authority, professionalism, and trustworthiness. 12. Advanced techniques for challenging scenarios. 1. Bridge and pivot. Acknowledge the question and pivot back to your key message.
For example, "That's an interesting point. Let me also highlight how this approach achieves our broader goal." 2. Clarify before answering. Ask for clarification to ensure understanding. For example, "Just to make sure I understand, are you asking about?" 3. Use strategic pauses. Silence before responding conveys confidence and thoughtfulness. 4. Highlight shared goals. Focus on common interests. For example, "We both want to ensure success. Here is how we can approach this." 5. Admit limitations gracefully. Honesty strengthens trust. For example, "I don't have that information." In summary, speak like a leader. Inspire, influence, impact. Leadership is not defined by titles, authority, or knowledge alone. It is measured by how effectively you communicate, connect, and inspire others. Throughout this journey, we have explored the essential skills that transform anyone into a compelling, confident leader. 1. The power of words. Every word you speak carries influence. Speaking with intention and purpose allows your ideas to resonate and your vision to take shape. Leadership communication is about clarity, conviction, and credibility. 2. Confidence and presence. True leaders command attention not by dominance, but through self-assurance, poise, and authenticity. Your confidence sets the tone, engages your audience, and reinforces your authority. 3. Clarity and conciseness. Ideas are only powerful if understood. Speaking clearly, structuring your message, and eliminating unnecessary words ensures that your audience absorbs and remembers your message. Clarity transforms words into impact. 4. Connecting with your audience. Leadership is about influence, which begins with connection. Understanding your audience, listening actively, demonstrating empathy, and tailoring your message builds trust and engagement. Connection turns followers into collaborators and communication into action. 5. Handling questions and challenges. Leadership is tested under pressure. Responding to questions and challenges with calm confidence, preparation, and strategic thinking strengthens credibility. Challenges are opportunities to demonstrate authority, composure, and mastery. 6. Consistency and practice. Leadership communication is a skill honed through daily habits, reflection, rehearsal, feedback, and deliberate practice. Each conversation, presentation, and interaction is an opportunity to refine your message and presence. 7. Inspiration and influence. Ultimately, leadership is about inspiring action. Your words, presence, and connection have the power to motivate, guide, and transform. When you speak with clarity, confidence, and authenticity, you empower others to follow, act, and achieve. Remember, leadership is not about perfection, it's about presence, practice, and persistence. Every word you speak, every pause you take, every story you share is a chance to influence, inspire, and leave a lasting impact. As you move forward, commit to speaking with clarity and purpose, listening with empathy and intent, responding to challenges with composure, connecting genuinely with every audience. Your voice is your greatest leadership tool. Use it wisely, boldly, and consistently. Influence lives, shape visions, and lead with authenticity. Your leadership journey doesn't end here. It begins with every conversation you have, every challenge you face, and every opportunity to inspire action. Speak like a leader, connect like a leader, lead with impact.